Yo. All right. So today, it's July 26th, but I'm gonna go over yesterday's price action. Um, I'm gonna go over yesterday's price action. So this is a recording of yesterday's price action. I didn't take any trade because there was nothing that made sense to me. I was looking for price to come down to this level right here. For long, we did come near settlement price. When news came out at 8:30, nothing flourished out of that. As you can see that we had yesterday we had a three buy a little bit of takeoff here that I missed. Came back down, price came to it during the midday, then bounced off of it again. So basically, we're basically holding this area here. You can see we pushed up, boom, really accelerated out, building up on the volume. Strong selling right up there. So I thought maybe this would have been something good, but price cleared it, right? We had a strong sell into this towards the end of the day, and then price cleared this high up here. So maybe I could have focused on this strong selling volume right here, even though it's the end of day volume, so it's kind of like iffy. Um, we can see price. Um, and now that 8:30, like I said, the 8:30 news, nothing came of that, right? I don't have anything here on my chart saying, hey, where they want to buy, they want to sell. I don't have any blank anything, right? Doing that I had here, price kind of like, been respected the whole time. So I'm gonna fast forward through this a little, this chart here to see what we can get. So we had to sell, then we had another sell, while NQ is down here. NQ is making this round towards the ground. I think NQ does move. I think NQ moves lower, much lower than this. Yeah, see, NQ does move much lower. ES held this whole settlement price. NQ is below its settlement price. All right, nice sell off. Toward right before the market opened. Nice little sell off. Boom. Right, this would have been a nice entry. ES didn't have anything to really back this up, but this here stop loss right above. You can see that price never got above that. Right, that alone gave 323, 370. What is that? 40 points. About a 40-point move. Let's just pull up NQ on the charts. See here, if I entered here, stop loss there. All right, so that would have been a tight one. Wouldn't have got into 2 to 1. Would have been very, very tight. Um, just look at it from this perspective. Let's see if there's anything that helped. Oh yeah. Okay, here it is. Okay, so would have been not. I came in at 8:30, so that's the 8:30 news for NQ. I haven't looked at the 8:30 news for NQ. All right, so this would have been here, right? Because of settlement price, and then this would have been like that. So we still wouldn't have reached 2 to 1. All right, but would at least been a stop loss because I would have had to move my stop loss for sure. So risking 20 points. Price went down 28 points. So 12 points shy of 2 to 1 would have been after this close would have definitely been at 2 to 1 at least here, and then probably just would have got stopped out. All right, this one came in at the 8:30 news. All right, so let's go back to the video. Yeah, so ES was holding right above this whole settlement price the entire time. We had sell and the range chart, but a strong buy-in the entire time right here, right? So we had this weird 9 o'clock strong buy, right, pre-market, and the price just was not breaking. So I was hoping price would have came down here one more time, fake the break, and then move up. All right, get like towards pre-market's low and move up. That's what I was hoping for. But we still kept getting buys, and the price said no. We're gonna keep this higher range, and then NQ started testing this area here. So it's a little weird confusion, but hmm, NQ challenged this strong selling here at the 830. All right, about here. All right. So this here was important. So price broke above it, and there's really nothing else that could be said and done. Right. So I marked this because this is the high from yesterday, and just out of respect, you know, sometimes we get this sell and then boom, right? As you can see that it failed. Price came in, um, and then failed again, right? This would have been a train wreck for my account. Not even gonna lie, when that came in at strong volume, stronger volume buying. So buyers are just like, yo, what are you doing? All right, so this would have been, I needed to exit this trade. Sellers tried again. Buyers dominated again. All right, sell, buy. Okay, 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 okay. Sell, buy. Motherfucker. That's what it sounds like. And then it just goes. All right, so sellers tried, buyers dominated. Sellers tried again, buyers destroyed. And then price just went up, came back down, retested that, and then flew off the handles. All right. So this would have been a nice trade. All right. Yeah, this would have been a nice trade. Probably still risking about the same 20 points. All right. And then, yeah, about 17 points. Yep, 20 points. Yep. And then, bam, 66 points. Probably would have had exit here, perhaps. That RSI, or maybe just right here. All right. For 66 for 48 points. All right, 40. Let's call it 41 points. 41 points. 41 points. And it says NQ. ES is half of NQ, so 2.5. 2.5 times times 5. 2.5 times 5 times 40 would have been 500 bucks. That's not that bad. All right, 500 bucks. So I've been risking about 250. That's tricky. All right, so let's go back to these charts here. So the thing is, trying to get the best entries and just really just staying calm. So we had that sell here. Looks like sellers are coming in. All right, but they're still weaker than all the buy that was here. All right, and then price just decided to say no, we're gonna buy up. Buyers absorption. Okay, what are we doing? All right, and this is me marking the charts. Buyers said, yo, we're gonna go for it. All right, so now strong buying, still not really interested, and Q is still fighting this area here. All right, didn't get anything here to compete with. All right, so buyers are clearly in control. Whatever selling that was happening here turned into a buy. Then when did that happen? Sell. Yeah, whatever selling that was happening here turned into a buy. All right, NQ looked like it wanted to sell at 1107. So maybe it's this one right here. 1107. That's a 1057 one. Let's see where ES was at this other one. There it is. All right. Let's see how that is. Okay. So NQ ES gives the sell signal. And then NQ gives its sell signal. I don't have anything here, thank God. I didn't mark any of this and wasn't interested in any of this. This is a strong selling area, but let's see here. Yeah, price doesn't hold. Price breaks out. NQ gave a buy and held. NQ is at this area here because so it wants to sell off ES. These are just the highs. Alright, am I getting anything? Alright, still waiting on NQ. The buying is not very strong, but the selling that was strong got destroyed. So there's that, and there's no real selling here on the charts. Got another buy. Alright, so it's just like, okay, what is it exactly that we're doing? Alright, and if we look down here, we can see that it's the buyers are dominating. So you have sell, buy, sell, buy. Alright, okay. So if we step back a little bit, we'll see that buyers are dominating. And then I think this one here, yeah, this is the volume that price was fighting for so much. To hold, but couldn't. Price came down to the 64.10 area very nicely. You can see we created that price pushes up. Price pushed up, came back down to it right there, and possible entry right about there. Boom. Price destroyed. Alright, strong volume. After that, price didn't really look back. Alright, so having this little build up here, this little round off here at 1019. Alright, price pushes up. Alright, now it's starting to slowly form. Alright, now that we're down here 64.10, maybe a stop loss 64.3 right here, which would be this right here. Alright, well, maybe we can protect that area, right? That'll just be the goal. Can we protect that area? Alright, so wait for price to really come back down and dominate, but I don't have anything, right, to say price wants to. Right, a lot of volume came in. You saw that? Alright, and go back. This turning green. Now this area here becomes a potential entry because this was, I think, green for a little bit. Right, so now that area there might be something of interest, which is probably VWAP. Price comes down, challenges this 64.10 area. Stop loss probably right here, so 5 points. Looking for a breakout, right? But I'm not interested in this grab. Right, we get this strong volume, right above this last volume. Price not breaking, price not selling. Not getting any entries though. I need a hammer candle. Right, strong buy. So now this would be like, okay, I'm going to time the breakout. Maybe this one here I could take. Boom, boom. This whole candle here will just be that, and wait, and then because there's nothing above it to stop it. All right, there's nothing above it to stop it. You know, this little area here that I had was from a 10 tick sell. So, and then NQ, as you can see, NQ broke out of that level with fear veracity. All right, I think here, NQ just said, nah, I'm breaking out. I'm not gonna keep holding back. Boom, NQ broke. ES said, well, I'll follow. And now it's just like, can I get my thing to a stop loss? Boom. That's it. Bam, bam. Now you're already, these two candles alone are, is twice that size. You're already at almost 2 to 1. 16. Yep, almost already at 2 to 1. All right. Um, you know. All right. So, and then price really sets its dominance there. So now make sure price never comes back down. Good, it doesn't come back down. Oh my goodness, hold on. All right, so yeah, so price pushes up from there. So now I'm looking for a retest at 64.15 if I could, if I was still trading this, because this took quite a bit of time. Um, right after that, 12 o'clock. Right, at 12 o'clock one was good, and then price just stayed there for like an hour. Another push, hour, another push. Right, so now can we come back down? Doubt it. Price just goes, and now it comes back down to this level, but this is way too wide of a range. This goes all the way down to 14, which is like way over here. All right, which is between these two here. All right, and that strong selling, yo, we're done with this highs up there. That's it. Price should not really go above that. Um, and that's pretty much it. Right, markets close. All right, and then that's it. So yeah, the only thing we had probably was this strong buying that came in, buying right away, stop loss right below. We kind of like cleared this little area here, and then see if price could just run up its mouth. So that's it. So really nothing really I could really work with based on what I trade, how I trade. The hammer candles came a little early and weird, um, and we just gotta wait. All right, that's it for me for today. I'll be back um, later. I only took. Oh, I can always also go over my trades for the week. I really took just one trade. Some trades that I did miss. I missed a lot of trades possibilities last week. So one good trade, everything else break even, and I'm fine with that. I took like one trade, two trades, one, two, three. Only 3 days I actually took trades. That one here was 27 minutes. Just held it. Last week was a wreckage week, especially this day here. All right, really put me in a bind. The 16, 15 was a great day. 537. Right, $537 right here. No, and then that's when I was trading the one minis, and I think I was on the top on cloud nine here, and I just started just giving everything back, and then I got basically margin called from my account. Then I was doing good again. Nope, no, no, that's it. And then no, this is whole 16. No, yeah, I got margin call for the account, and then the next I said, okay, I'm just gonna size down. 17 was a tough day, right? And then I started slowly making stuff back up. So this day was good, very tough. I'm not gonna lie, this day was good. I felt like, man, I wish I could have been, but even though This here would have been $100 loss, and then 500. So it's gotta continue just trading what I see on the charts. So yeah, so because I'm down a lot. I'm down 945. No, so I'm down 1,000. All right. So and 1,000 basically came from just kind of like a little bit of weakness from when I started. Um, so but I strongly believe that I have my trading set up and it's clear now. Especially trading with like this, I feel better trading these, waiting for ESN and Q to give me that okay boom setup, or even just entering around these. So waiting for ESN and Q giving me a level and looking for better entries, like better plays. Like this one here, I missed. I really wish I took this one. This would have been a nice little trade here, even if it gave me this is 5, 10, no 12 points right there. Boom. I don't care. I'll take it. That's I'll take it and then come back here and bounce. So if I just saw that, just mark those, just start looking at those. Okay, I have a little selling here. I was trying to go short. That was my thing. This one messed me up. Then it came back up. Then it did this. Then it did that. And it was just like I'm not. And then I should have just entered there because I took the short here and it got stopped out. But nonetheless, I think ESNQ gave me that short that day. All right. Anyways, I'm done for today. I'll probably be back over the weekend to revisit some of this information. All right. Adios.